Ladies and gentlemen, Rex Bear Leak Project. How the heck are you? Just have to hit a couple more buttons here before I start with today's headlines, current events, and crazy conspiracies. Stand by. All right, here we go. What a beautiful day today out here in San Antonio. I hope it's nice where you are as well. Thank you for patiently waiting. I had to put together all of my notes, and the calm before the storm, the day before Friday the 13th, North Korea's hacking capabilities are beyond imagination, according to somebody that deflected, I don't know if you want to call this some type of wag the dog scenario, how much accuracy there is with this, but we'll see. And does it really surprise you? I mean, look at how much information China stole. Remember that? Remember how much information China took? The Department of Defense personnel, like 22 million people's records just in one hack, and very high-level security personnel got their information. Who knows how much they know, even the maybe psychological profiles, who they're connected to, who they're related to, where they live, what their position is, what their security clearance is, what projects they've been working on. Well, now we got to worry about North Korea. How exciting is that? So here's that article you can actually read on Yahoo News. I'll leave the link in the video description box as well, ABC News. And then another very interesting article is how North Korea would wage a nuclear war and kill millions of people. This is the national interest. This was also an article I found on Yahoo. It's interesting because even though most mainstream news sites and many landing page sites that have a bunch of news from a bunch of different mainstream news stations, sometimes Yahoo, I think, has got some pretty good stuff. They got a lot of fluff. They got a lot of, stuff that doesn't really matter on the homepage, but they got to have ratings too. I get it. I absolutely get it. So how North Korea would wage a nuclear war and kill millions of people. And do we have sound? Now let's take a look here. Does my sound like a cyborg? All right, let's see. No, I think we're good. Okay. Also, we're going to talk about how an article that I discovered, can the ATF regulate bump stocks? The device used by Las Vegas shooter, CBS News. We're going to get into that and my take on that smear piece. Also, Trump reportedly didn't know about the loophole in the 25th Amendment that lets 14 people remove a sitting president from office. Business Insider. I say question everything. Also, the TC4 asteroid shaved past the Earth's atmosphere today at approximately 27,000 miles. Now, my question is, they said it got pretty close to several communication satellites. And did NASA actually do anything to deflect it? Because they said they were going to test out their new planetary defense system. Was any of that even, does it even exist? And if it does exist, how effective is it? That's certainly some questions I have, and you might as well. But I find it very ironic, ladies and gentlemen. If you saw the podcast that I did yesterday, it's the end of the world as we know it. Hours till the end of the world, Friday the 13th asteroid. Did you not see that podcast? Did you not realize it was a satire piece? I mean, do people not what's wrong with, it's like lack of personality. I don't get it. Are people really that frightened? They see somebody wearing a wig that probably cost $5, $10. I mean, the thing looks like fake horsehair. And you think somebody's being, I guess there's a lot of new people to the show and they just don't get it. Yeah, my humor can be dry sometimes. It's just bizarre though, how pissed off people get. They'll see a title and they'll think it's so serious. So they'll just automatically leave these comments. So it's funny at the same time. I want to go over some of these with you guys real quick. And then we're going to get into a couple other articles as well. But check this out. These are comments that were left on my recent satire podcast. This one says, really tired of this end of the world BS. New dates being set right after one failed date after another, on and on and on. It continues. Stop already! Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. exclamation point. Dude, really? You think I'm being serious? I mean, watch the video, man. It's bizarre. It is absolutely bizarre. Here's one. Maru says, have you read the Bible? Don't pay attention. This guy is a false prophet. I'm in my grandma's garage. I don't even think you could get to that false prophet status. Really? Relax. Splendorous says, what up with that objectifying woman on your background, boy? ROFL, asteroid from other videos, has already flown by, child. LMAO. All just redo of the flavor of the month. Collage of other videos. It's a satire piece, dude. Then Gary says, lately it's looking like old Rex has had one too many brownies. Think he's going a little too heavy on one of the ingredients. It's actually called colostrum from getthetea.com. You should try it. It's awesome. Amazing. Then Sita says, yes, but I am getting used to his glazed look. It's an end of the world thing. That's pretty funny. Paul says, the Simpsons TV show did not talk about this. Well, because the Simpsons didn't bring it up, then it's obviously not true. Way to go, Paul. And then B comes on and says, that's not true. Season 24, episode 9. So there you go. Season 24, episode 9. Patrick says, if they don't say anything, nothing's going to happen. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to know what's going to happen in the future, turn on The Simpsons, watch every single episode and dissect it, write it down, put together the mathematical equations. You have the algorithms to the future of the timeline, ladies and gentlemen. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. Season 24, episode 9. There you go. Bingo. And then Mig says, dude, you need to shut up sometime. All you do is jibber jabber about nothing. Seriously, Rex, take some Ritalin and chill the F out. Your videos are really starting to suck. Thanks, buddy. I'm organic. I'll stay off the Ritalin, okay? I don't need that pharmaceutical stuff. That's poison. All right. So Mel says, Mig, I was thinking the same thing. He can't stay on track all over the place. Well, I guess you need Ritalin now to stay on track. So, hey, there you go. I'm not going to stay on track and I'm not going to take Ritalin. Mig said, or then Chris says, Mig, I think he's high. It's called colostrum, dude. You should try it sometime. It's organic. Getthetea.com. It's good for you. So Fish Creek says, this is my first time watching his channel, and I am not sure what to think. But based off my initial impression, it's not good. I don't care about the wild hair or looks, but I can't stand the rambling and his inability to stay on topic. Plus, he shouldn't reply to comments while in the middle of explaining a thought. Just my 2 cents. Thanks, Fish. I'll keep that in mind. Hey, what are you guys talking about anyway? Let me read some of these comments real quick. Hey, guys. Hello. All right, let's get to the next. By the way, I am listening right now to my very favorite soundtrack on the planet right now and my favorite movie, Blade Runner 2049. It'll blow your mind. It'll shatter your paradigm. Watch it today. I didn't even get paid to say that. It was just that good. I had to actually go pay to go see that movie. And speaking of, I'm going to bring it all back. Just stay with me. I do get back on topic. 404, episode 2. Watch it. It'll blow your mind. Literally, 3D movies. People are going into these 3D films, 3D glasses, while these parasitic archons jump through the screen and suck the brain essence out of the audience. And this one guy actually picked up on it because he brought his own 3D glasses, which actually conformed the 3D to 2D, which allowed him to see this literally archonic worm parasite come out of the theater screen and start sucking the brains out of these people. And they're like, yes, I love it. Ugh. It was just, it's like what they're doing right now. It's like what they're doing right now. That's why you will not assimilate me, abracadabra. Hello. All right, so let's go back. This guy is annoying and an idiot. Thank you. I appreciate that. I've been called worse. Valentine says, you are an idiot. Thank you very much. You are brilliant. Vonda says, it's tomorrow, the 12th, not on Friday, the 13th. Technically, depending on where you're located. It is the 13th, though. It is the smallest asteroid ever tracked. It is the size of a school bus or a big house. Nothing will happen. All exclamation points, all caps. Go back to your lives, people. Relax, bro. All right. So anyway, enough of that. Now let's get into the fun stuff. Just wanted to show you the mindset of people sometimes. They're so uptight that literally they read a title and they don't even click on what is being presented. And it's like, the joke's on you guys. You're calling me an idiot. Well, you're so intelligent that you can't even tell it's a satire piece. I mean, really, how many podcasts have I done in the past where you actually have to watch the podcast and listen to realize what I am presenting is actually a joke? It's dry humor. I mean, maybe some of you have heard of it. I don't know. But anyway, now, first of all, I kind of think it's a joke that the media can still convince people about certain events with some of these crisis actors that we see out there today. I mean, their acting is just terrible. They can't even fake cry without being like, oh my gosh, I gotta cry. And you can see a couple tears come out, but supposedly they just lost a loved one while they, they're smiling. It's, oh, hey, oh yeah, I got to get into character now. But let me ask you this. Will North Korea, now that they have the war plans, supposedly, that they hacked from South Korea, that they were able to get into, and it wasn't the lack of technology, according to this article, it was the lack of competence based on South Korea and their security. Now, first of all, China has more information on not only just not only consumers, but also the DoD stuff, very sensitive information that I would think this hack could have actually been manipulated for them to think that it was proper information. I mean, who knows what kind of war games they're playing, but I just find it very interesting that North Korea's capabilities are so incredible now. That's the next worry. So I'm thinking of, okay, I'm going to pull out some Illuminati cards here while we're talking about this. Are they going to use the internet worm card? I kind of had this pulled on the side. Are they going to play this card? Are they going to play this card? Now, one thing that's interesting, let me just read a little bit to you about this article also called How North Korea Would Wage a Nuclear War and Kill Millions of People. First of all, the pictures that they're showing of Kim Jong-un petting and caressing he's like, oh man, he's like literally petting it. Well, it's not a real, hold on. Can you guys see you guys like my shirt? You guys like that? Well, Darth Vader is not, he found the light. He found the light. So anyway, where was I going with this? Yeah. All right. The information available from TNI, the national interest, they're saying, let's get back on track. They're saying that Kim Jong-un and his regime could take out millions of people by attacking the U.S. interest in Japan, South Korea, civilian port facilities, potential staging areas in Japan might be used to reinforce, allied forces, and the Korean Peninsula would have to be hit, according to this article. The largest naval and civilian port facilities and potential staging areas in Japan might be used to reinforce allied forces on the Korean Peninsula would have to be hit, according to this article. The best way to assure that those facilities are rendered useless is to use nuclear weapons. Among the targets, North Korea would likely hit Kunsan, Penatake, I didn't say that properly, large port facilities, but would also get the ports that host a majority of the American air power on the Korean Peninsula. Now, here's an interesting thought. If that actually happens, if we start to see movement in that area, how soon is it before we're warned, the people? Is it 48 hours, 72 hours? Is it a week? Is it a month? Do they annihilate the entire area and then be like, oh yeah, by the way, I mean, think about how much has went down in Syria. We've been shown very little except for some alternative media and some drone footage after the fact. Thanks, James. I appreciate that. So let's get into the next article. Can the ATF regulate bump stocks, the device used by the Las Vegas shooter, CBS News? In the wake of the Las Vegas shooting, the National Rifle Association and congressional Republicans are calling on a federal agency to ban the device that enabled the gunman to shoot hundreds of people at a country music festival. You can also read about that at yahoonews.com or yahoo.com/news. Now, of course, you were waiting for it. I knew it was bound to happen. After Las Vegas, they decided to pull the gun card, the gun control card. Now, this is what's interesting, though. If you read the article, let me just give you a quick excerpt. And this is where the mind control tactics come in, the neuro-linguistic programming. Hold on a second. I need a drink of my kombucha. I love this stuff. It's organic, too. So, can the ATF regulate bump stocks, the device used by the Las Vegas shooter? CBS News. It's funny reading the emails or the comments real quick. Somebody said, this YouTube channel is a waste of space, and you're actually here with us. So what does that say about you? Hello, you're here with us, buddy. You're here with us. In the wake of the Las Vegas shooting, the National Rifle Association, the NRA, and congressional Republicans are calling on a federal agency to ban the device that enabled the gunman to shoot hundreds of people at a country music festival. So, did you get that? According to this article, what enabled the lone wolf, Mr. Patsy himself, what enabled him to supposedly injure 500 plus people and kill 59 people. Now, first of all, I think people were shot and I think people were killed. And my condolences, my sincerest condolences to anybody that lost a loved one, a friend. That's terrible. That should not happen. Now, who's really to blame? Who's really behind this? And why are they showing us all fake information in the mainstream news? Why aren't they interviewing the people that were really shot or the people that were, the family members of those that really lost a loved one? Because from what I've seen on CNN, they did not seem to have any remorse whatsoever or any compassion except for the fake crying girl in the middle. And they supposedly just lost their mom. Anyway, it's like they're just, they're throwing stuff in our face. They have to control the narrative. That's the cleanup crew that I talked about, the wag the dog special, let's control the narrative. Okay, well, yeah, this is what we're going to do. Now we're going to go after guns that have bump stocks because that's what caused this guy to do it. That was the device, ladies and gentlemen. That was what gave him the power, the ability to do what he did was a bump stock. Timeshare. Would you like to buy a timeshare? They're pretty good deal. About $2,000 a year maintenance fees. It'll get you 1 week a year in Branson. It's an off week. It's a studio. It's run down a little bit. It's got some big cockroaches and stuff. The neighbors are noisy. It's got some issues. But I'll tell you, bump stocks, ladies and gentlemen. So gun control. Yes, of course, they're going to use the gun control card. Now, because there's several groups and businesses and security firms that make lots of money off of devices that, naked body scanners, stuff like that. And of course, who's going to profit off of this crisis? Follow the money. Are we going to start seeing naked body scanners now at grocery stores, in public, walking into a gas station? Are you going to see it actually? Are you going to see large ones over freeways now? And oh, shoot, I just gave a great idea, didn't I? That's terrible. Now we're going to be getting microwaved when we go underneath these signs that say Las Vegas is 150 miles away. Route 66. Oh, don't forget to go drive under the naked body scanner for your protection. I mean, pick yourself up a government motors vehicle now, and they can, turn on the Bluetooth at any time and listen to what you're saying. It's for your protection. Of course, they want to make sure you're going to stay calm. And pretty soon they're going to start injecting nanobots in your brain. And if you start thinking bad thoughts, they'll just reprogram your cerebral cortex and create your own little ripples in your brain to think good thoughts, Okay, I'm being sarcastic, or am I? Well, we're going to find out here soon enough. Well, Chertoff loves us. Chertoff absolutely loves us so much that's what look at him. Just look at the smile. He's always so happy, and he cares about the people. That's the only reason he's doing it. He wants every life matters to him. Okay. He just cares about you. He cares about you. And yeah, I don't really necessarily, how do I put this? Look at a meat eating dinosaur as a nano mosquito just trying to bite me. Look at a meat-eating dinosaur and just take a picture of its face, okay, and put it right next to Chertoff. And see if there's any, like if you were going to imagine a reptilian shapeshifter, I'm just saying, if they did exist, maybe they'd look kind of, I don't know, just my opinion, of course, but forget the gun control laws. I mean, they're going to have to come up with something, right? They're thinking long-term, ladies and gentlemen. They're thinking, how can we profit off of this and still please the masses? Well, let's come up with these new scanners. We'll come up with new scanners and it'll be real easy. You just walk right through it. And no, man, so Mr. Stranger said Chertoff looks like a demon. I think he looks like an angel. He looks so innocent and caring and loving. I mean, you'd trust him, right? All right. So now the Hawaii card, I still think they might play this Hawaii card here pretty soon, especially with the way they're pushing North Korea. Doesn't that look just like Little Kim? And these Hawaiian dudes are throwing them around. There's like, yeah, come here, Kim. You don't got your missiles with you. And how come Kim is always with like 75, 85-year-old generals? I mean, I'm just saying. I talked to my friend Herb the other day, and guys, great shape, 64, still looks like Chuck Norris when he was 45, fourth degree black belt. They say 65 is the new 45. I get it. But Kim, come on, man, you're hanging. I mean, these guys look like they're about ready to get checked into a nursing home or something. Maybe, get yourself some young blood in there, man. Some people that are thinking a little bit quicker. I mean, come on, you're telling everybody what you're going to do before you do it. I mean, geez, back in 2013, you told, everybody, okay, we're going to nail LA and we're going to nail DC and New York. Remember, he even showed you in the background. There was the poster there, showed you the locations that they were going to hit. They're like, yes, that's where we're going. Now, come on, timeshare. Is that disinformation? They're going for Nebraska. Yeah, Nebraska. So Kim, Hawaii, that would be an easy target for them. Now, let me ask you this. If Hawaii was to get struck, let's say Hawaii got struck, would that cause a huge financial ripple that would have massive consequences on the global market? I don't know what kind of noise is in the background. There's people doing construction work and stuff, so I've just got the Blade Runner 2049 soundtrack going on in the background. This stuff gets you going. So, let's talk about President Trump right now. Let's talk about President Trump. Isn't it interesting? Will you just look at him? Doesn't he look good with that blonde hair? Isn't it interesting that the REM lyrics that I shared with you guys? Oh yeah. And I mean, come on, dude. If you see somebody, let's go back to this podcast that I did. It said hours till the end of the world, and people are just freaking out and having little tissy fits. And they're just like, okay, if you see somebody wearing a $5 wig that looks like fake horsehair, reading lyrics of "It's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine," drinking colostrum, you think that person's serious? Whew, man, you need to relax, dude. I hope you don't even have a television set, because you probably freak yourself out when you wake up in the morning and you look in the mirror, you're like, oh my gosh, can you see that? What was that? It's a demon. Oh, wait, it's just me. Woo! Just like your eyes are all settling. It's like, you guys need to relax, okay? Chill out. I can hear you walk past me because your butt's squeaky. Just like, quick, 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 quick. Chill out. Or don't. I mean, you think that GMO foods are bad for you, which they are. You think that vaccines, with the thimerosal and the squalene and the adjuvants and the aborted baby cells and stuff that is in there and mixed in there, the heavy duty cleaners and stuff, you think that stuff's bad for you, which I would agree with you on that. That would be my opinion as well. Stress isn't that good for you either, buddy. Take a chill pill, okay? Maybe I don't know. You're right. It's not funny. I guess you're right. It's not funny, man. All right. So let's go back to this is not funny right here. This card right here is actually kind of spooky because do you know who this looks like? Hold on a second. Hey, how you guys doing? You guys come here often? Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. All right. I love the live chat. I mean, you guys are great. You got to come on to these shows just to see the live chat. So, all right. The imposter card. This is actually gonna link up with one of the articles that I just brought up. The imposter card right here. To me, that looks like somebody right now. I mean, obviously, you can say it's a stretch, and it is a stretch because it's a conspiracy, and that's what conspiracies do is they stretch. Okay, I mean, a good conspiracy, you've got to come up with the answers for a good conspiracy. Otherwise, it's not a good conspiracy. And these are conspiracy cards, the Illuminati New World Order playing card deck that was. First of all, this deck's over 20 years old. This deck's about 23 years old. It's the New World Order version. This deck the idea was derived from a series of books called the Illuminatus series, which was published in the 70s. And just so you know, I should be getting my copy any day now. I ordered a copy, the three edition set, the 3-volume set. The 3-volume set, and it will be here any day. So we can find out a good foundation of where these cards actually got, where Steve Jackson got a lot of his ideas for these cards. So the imposter card, this imposter card right here reminds me a lot of this article that just came out that said Trump reportedly didn't know about the loophole in the 25th Amendment that lets 14 people remove a sitting president from office. Business Insider. The 25th Amendment formally outlines the transition of power if the president is unable or unfit to serve. Nanu. Section 4 allows the vice president and a majority. Section 4 allows the vice president. Will you just look at it? Section 4 allows the vice president and a majority of the cabinet to remove the president from office. Americans have been particularly interested in the amendment since President Donald Trump took office. Americans have been brushing up on their knowledge of the Constitution lately, according to Google Trends data. The search term 25th Amendment spiked in popularity after President Donald Trump took office, particularly after he signed the controversial travel bans and after he tweeted an edited video of him body slamming the Communist News Network in July. So, now, the sandwich was delicious. I got it. Now I'm waiting on cookies and milk. Cookies and milk. But let me ask you, do you think that this kind of looks like somebody right now that's, hanging out there in the White House? A little bit, just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. And he certainly is a charismatic leader. You got that. Well, some people say the opposite. He will create division. There's no question about it. Now, so what do we do next? Let's say, now you guys do remember the media push a short while ago where they were saying, oh, people are getting together and they're going to create a bill that says President Trump needs to get his head examined. He needs to get a psychological evaluation because we don't think he's fit. We're going to give him a psychological evaluation. You do know that, well, from what I hear, I mean, I don't know. Well, maybe I do know. Maybe you know a lot more than you think you know. And maybe oftentimes your gut tells you what is the no, and you just don't want to know. A doctor, a psychologist, psychiatrist, a doctor, psychiatrists can actually prescribe drugs, right? A doctor could potentially, if the president of the United States was deemed unfit to serve, well, guess what? A doctor could actually create my medical opinion is, oh, nope, not fit to be in office. So, yep, guess who's going to be president next? Well, I don't know. Well, let's say something like that happens and they say, nope, he can't, he's not fit. He's not, doesn't have the opportunity. Could this guy take his place? I mean, I'm just a conspiracy theorist, though. These are all just conspiracy cards. I'm just asking questions. I don't know. Now, if that happens, if that does happen, would that create some type of martial law? I've heard that psychiatrists oftentimes are crazier than the patients. A pretty interesting song going on right now. I need to change songs here real quick so I can get back in the zone. Here we go. Blade Runner 2049. Blade Runner 2049. The synthetics. Martial law. Martial law is not as difficult to declare as many might think. Now, the question is, what level of martial law would be declared? If President Trump stepped down from office, would that create martial law? If, and this is a big if for some reason, and that reason could be their plan does seem to be going according to plan oftentimes, maybe they want us to wake up. Maybe that's why they throw these ridiculous pictures out there that are supposed to be legit after these events that unfold in Vegas, where you see what looks like a mummy, not a mummy, a dummy, a mannequin on the ground, while, Johnny's walking like it's no big deal. And then you got Bob over there talking on his cell phone, looking up. And then you got two cops that are, looking like something out of a poster of Hawaii Five-0 behind the car. And they're not even worried about anybody behind them. They're just, it just doesn't make. And then all of a sudden you've got the litter on the ground as well to add to that. Are they doing that to just see how stupid people really are? I mean, is that their barometer test to just find out the IQ levels of people and how good their mind control is actually working? Because if you can't see it, then it's working really good. It is working really, excuse me, hold on one second. All right, much better. Had something in my throat there. So, emergency powers, the emergency powers card. Emergency powers would obviously be called up during a nationwide martial law. Now, another question is, if there is an imposter, if there is an imposter in the White House or in the administration somewhere that is a part of a coup to get the charismatic leader out of office, if that happens and martial law is declared and emergency powers, and then they go after people's Second Amendment, after gun, they do the gun control, go after people's Second Amendment, would that cause the Civil War? Would that cause a civil war? Put the Aussie wig on. No, it freaks people out. People think I'm serious when I wear the Aussie wig. It's bizarre. I don't understand it. They're like, man, is that you? People were literally asking me if it was my real hair. No, it's not my real hair. I even said on there, I'm like, look at how fast my hair grew. No, I'm joking. Or am I? Yes, I was joking. It's not real hair. Gosh, if I had hair like that, I would wash it and comb it, but it's not real. Anyway, I love you guys, but come on. All right. So China is really playing around here behind the scenes. They're helping out. I think they're helping this guy. They're helping this guy out. China's been around a lot longer than America, guys. I mean, as far as the government and the foundation, they've got a pretty solid foundation. We got to remember that. They're pretty badass. Now, they are more of a Borg type society. You know, they're a part of that collective whole. I would feel that one of the things that makes America great is the make America great again is something we should do. I mean, why not? We're living here, right? Might as well. I mean, do you want to live in a place that's great? One thing that I feel is important, and Alexander was talking to me about this yesterday, and I agree with him 100%. Take advantage of the opportunity that you have. If you own land, make it awesome. If you know, whatever you're doing, make it as awesome as possible, because we do live in a beautiful country. Just get in your car and take a road trip. Go to the Canyonlands, the Badlands, go to the Four Corners, go to the Rocky Mountains, go to the Wasatch Front, go check out the Great Northwest and the Olympic National Forest, go to the Northeast and check out the colors in the fall. Go to Florida during the summertime when you don't have to worry about a hurricane, and check out Fort Lauderdale and all these amazing beaches. And there's some amazing things out here. Even Texas has some awesome opportunities. You've got Big Bend, you've got Hill Country, you've got El Capitan. There's a lot of the beach. There's a good amount of things to do. So why don't we take advantage of those opportunities and make America great again? People talk, even people that live here talk bad about their own country and where they come from. Why? I don't understand it. It's bizarre. Well, I think it's because the powers that be would actually be a lot happier if China became the next global superpower. Imagine these guys being the global police state. Or I shouldn't say the global police state. Imagine these guys being the global police, creating a global police state even more so than now. Would it be better or worse having these guys as the global police? I don't know. So, question about North Korea again. Let's get into the possibility. Looks like things froze up here. Let me see if we're still live. The gremlins jumped in. They do that at times. It's froze up. All right, well, while it's frozen, I'll go to my notes. Stand by. Adjusting some technical frequencies right now. We've got the Fibonacci sequence going in square mode. Let's make sure that it rounds itself out. Nope. Stand by for this technical break. You can hear me? Is there anyone home? Okay, we're okay. Good. All right, because I'm not. I'm literally kicked off the internet somehow. I don't know. Looks like we're coming back. Are we coming back? Nope. Yep. All right, here we go. Thank you. Well, that wasn't too bad. Wasn't too bad. At least I wasn't on mute for the first 5 minutes. At least I was on mute for the first 5 minutes. So let's go over the Constitution. Let's do that. The Bill of Rights. Why not? Let's take a look at it. It's fun because it's one powerful document that is not talked about enough, and the internet is being extremely slow. It's not even letting me look it up. All right, here we go. Your internet connection is unstable. Yes, thank you, Captain Obvious. My name is Rex Bear. How the heck are you? So, internet unstable. Why is that? Why do you think? It's the gremlins. Yeah, like, what's the Bill of Rights? I've never heard of that. We actually have a Bill of Rights? Yes. Yes, we do. And it's not being very friendly with me right now. I had this all pulled up, but while it's being slow, I'm just going to have another drink of kombucha. Hey, here we go. The United States, the Bill of Rights, 1791. Here we go. I'm getting the mindset here. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, can I have your attention, please? The Bill of Rights, full text. Amendment 1, the Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or the right of the people, peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Amendment 1. Amendment 2. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Let's go over that one more time, shall we? Just to make sure everybody heard it, just to make sure that I said it properly. Amendment 2. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Hi, my name is Rex Bear. The right to bear arms shall not be infringed. That's Amendment 2. Amendment 3. No soldier shall, in time of peace, be quartered in any house without the consent of the owner, nor in time of war, but in a manner to be prescribed by law. Amendment 4. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. All right, stand by. I have to go back to where we at here. All right, here we go. This song's called Hijack by Hans Zimmer and Benjamin Wolfsich from the Blade Runner 2049. Well, I can't play it for you guys, but that's what I'm listening to right now. So Amendment 4. Now, Amendment 5. Hold on a second. That one, yeah. We're losing more and more every day, aren't we? All right, so Amendment 5. No person shall be held to answer for a capital or otherwise infamous crime unless on a presentment or indictment of a grand jury, except the cases arise service in time of war or public danger, nor shall any person be subject for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy of life or limb, nor shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor shall private property be taken or public use without just compensation. Now, even with the Constitution, I'm reading classify as just compensation. You know, if you have a fair and just court, a fair and just government that is, fair and just Congress, House, administration, if everybody is fair and playing the game, then the Constitution is absolutely powerful. But the problem is all this stuff can be manipulated because based on English. So I feel that you have to be very careful, even with the Constitution, when you read this stuff. How are you labeling these words? What does it actually mean? Well, there's so many different definitions. In all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall enjoy the right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury of the state and district wherein the crime shall have been committed, which district shall have been previously ascertained by law, and to be informed of the nature and cause of the accusation, to be confronted with the witnesses against him, to have compulsory process for obtaining witnesses in his favor, and to have the assistance of counsel for his defense. Amendment 7. In suits at common law, where the value and controversy shall exceed $20, the right of trial by jury shall be preserved, and no fact tried by a jury shall be otherwise reexamined in any court of the United States than according to the rules of the common law. Amendment 8. Excessive bail shall not be required, nor excessive fines imposed, nor cruel and unusual punishment inflicted. Amendment 9. The enumeration in the Constitution of certain rights shall not be construed to deny or disparage others retained by the people. And Amendment 10, the powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the states are, there you go, the Bill of Rights. There you have it. Now, let's go back to the bill that was, or the, not the bill, but the, where's it at? The 25th Amendment. Let's look at the 25th Amendment real quick. Let's take a look at that. The 25th Amendment. Okay, I'm pulling this up right now. In case of the removal of the president from office or of his death or resignation, the vice president shall become president. That's section 1. Section 2, whenever there is a vacancy in the office of the president shall nominate a vice president who shall take office upon confirmation by a majority vote of both House and Congress. Whenever the president transmits to the president pro tempores of the Senate and the Speaker of the House of Representatives his written declaration that he is unable to discharge the powers and duties of his office, and until he transmits to them a written declaration of the contrary, such powers and duties shall be discharged by the vice president as acting president. All right, section 4. Let me zoom in on this a little bit. Whenever the vice president and a majority of either the principal officers of the executive departments or of such other body as Congress may by law provide, transmit to the president pro tempore of the Senate and the Speaker of the House of Representatives their written declaration that the president is unable to discharge the powers and duties of his office, the vice president shall immediately assume the powers and duties of the office as acting president. Thereafter, when the president transmits to the president pro tempore of the Senate and the Speaker of the House of Representatives his written declaration that no inability exists, he shall resume the powers and duties of his office unless the vice president and a majority of either the principal officers of the executive department or of such other body as Congress may by law provide, transmit within 4 days to the president pro tempore of the Senate and the Speaker of the House of Representatives their written declaration that the president is unable to discharge the powers and duties of his office. Thereupon, Congress shall decide the issue, assembling within 48 hours for that purpose, if not in session, if the Congress, within 21 days after receipt of the letter, written declaration, wow. Did I just get booted? Jeez. I don't know what happened. It looks like the gremlins came out, but maybe we're on to something here. Maybe just a little something, So I don't know how long ago I got booted, but it looks like Zoom literally just, let's just leave it at that. Thank you for being wherever you are. I hope things are going well. If you haven't already, youtube.com/clandestine time lord. Also, go to leakproject.com. Leakproject.com, over 1,200 podcasts. Actually, I think I got over 1,300 now. And there's podcasts out of these 1,300 that is exclusive to Leak Project, downloadable, streamable, ad-free. So make sure to go there as well. Have an awesome day. Thank you for being here once again. 2 million people's records just in one hack, and very high-level security personnel got their information. Who knows how much they know, even the maybe psychological profiles, who they're connected to, who they're related to, where they live, what their position is, what their security clearance is, what projects they've been working on. Well, now we got to worry about North Korea. How exciting is that? So here's that article you can actually read on Yahoo News. I'll leave the link in the video description box as well, ABC News. And then another very interesting article is how North Korea would wage a nuclear war and kill millions of people. This is the national interest. This was also an article I found on Yahoo. It's interesting because even though most mainstream news sites and many landing page sites that have a bunch of news from a bunch of different mainstream news stations. Sometimes Yahoo, I think, has got some pretty good stuff. They got a lot of fluff. They got a lot of, stuff that doesn't really matter on the homepage, but they got to have ratings too. I get it. I absolutely get it. So, though, how pissed off people get, they'll see a title and they'll think it's so serious, so they'll just automatically leave these comments. So it's funny at the same time. I want to go over some of these with you guys real quick, and then we're going to get into a couple other articles as well. But check this out. These are comments that were left on my recent satire podcast. This one says, really tired of this end of the world BS. New dates being set right after one failed date after another, on and on and on. It continues. Stop already. Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. Dude, really? You think I'm being serious? I mean, watch the video, man. It's bizarre. It is absolutely bizarre. Here's one. Maru says, have you read the Bible? Don't pay attention. This guy is a false prophet. I'm in my grandma's garage. I don't even think you could get to that false prophet status. Really? How North Korea would wage a nuclear war and kill millions of people. And do we have sound? Now let's take a look here. Does my sound like a cyborg? All right, let's see. No, I think we're good. Okay. Also, we're going to talk about how an article that I discovered, can the ATF regulate bump stocks? The device used by Las Vegas shooter, CBS News. We're going to get into that and my take on that smear piece. Also, Trump reportedly didn't know about the loophole in the 25th Amendment that lets 14 people remove a sitting president from office. Business Insider. I say question everything. Also, the TC4 asteroid shaved past the Earth's atmosphere today at approximately 27,000 miles. Now, my question is, they said it got pretty close to several communication satellites. And did NASA actually do anything to deflect it? Because they said they were going to test out their new planetary defense system. Was any of that even, does it even exist? And if it does exist, how effective is it? That's certainly some questions I have, and you might as well. But I find it very ironic, ladies and gentlemen. If you saw the podcast that I did yesterday, it's the end of the world as we know it. Hours till the end of the world, Friday the 13th asteroid. Did you not see that podcast? Did you not realize it was a satire piece? I mean, do people not what's wrong with, it's like lack of personality. I don't get it. Are people really that frightened? They see somebody wearing a wig that probably cost $5, $10. I mean, the thing looks like fake horsehair. And you think somebody's being, I guess there's a lot of new people to the show and they just don't get it. Yeah, my humor can be dry sometimes. It's just bizarre. Ladies and gentlemen, Rex Bear Leak Project. How the heck are you? Just have to hit a couple more buttons here before I start with today's headlines, current events, and crazy conspiracies. Stand by. All right, here we go. What a beautiful day today out here in San Antonio. I hope it's nice where you are as well. Thank you for patiently waiting. I had to put together all of my notes, and the calm before the storm, the day before Friday the 13th, North Korea's hacking capabilities are beyond imagination, according to somebody that deflected, I don't know if you want to call this some type of wag the dog scenario, how much accuracy there is with this, but we'll see. And does it really surprise you? I mean, look at how much information China stole. Remember that? Remember how much information China took? The Department of Defense personnel, like 22